Welcome back, everyone, for game number 2 of our doubleheader. Cougars taking game number 1, 3-1 over Siena Heights. I do not have the lineup for the Halos, so we'll have to record that as the players come up to the plate. Your pitcher is going to be Charlie Betts for St. Francis. 5.74 ERA. 15.2 innings pitched under his belt. 14 runs, 10 of those earned, 14 hits, 12 walks, 10 strikeouts. Opposing batters are hitting .226 against Charlie Betts. Leading it off here is going to be number 13, Snyder Torres. Torres did not play in game number 1. Take that first pitch for a ball. He fouled away. Folks, I'm writing down the lineup here, so give me a second with the scoreboard. Thank you. So Snyder Torres playing shortstop in game number 2. The freshman started in game number 1, punches that ball into shallow right field. Out number 1, Tony Bova makes the snag. That brings the plate number 24, Brendan Baker. First pitch and calling off Brady Harris will be Jack Harris for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for Charlie Betts. That brings to the plate number 10, Brendan Green. Green playing first base. Beautiful pitch. Charlie Betts throwing hard up there on the bump.
Big Siena Heights guy.
Brendan Green, once again, the .452 batting average entering today's series. Ranks him number 15 in the country. He's fantastic. Green was 1 for 3 in game number 1. It's going to bring to the plate Connor McCoy. First pitch strike to McCoy. McCoy was 0 for 3 in game number 1. Counts 1-1. Got the lights on here at the World Baseball Academy Ash Center. Diamond number 2, Cougar Field. Green at first. Another nice pitch. Right at the knees. Count's evened up at 2 apiece.
Love to hear it, Harry. Love to hear it.
On deck will be number 41, Logan Knopf.
It's a bag. It's a bag. It's a bag. It's not. Where are we shooting then? Okay. Shoot the guy at the plate. I'm going for a Schwartz. Fly open and pop up.
Betts is a junior righty, 6'1", 185 from Lake Village, Indiana, North Newton High School.
Oh, yeah.
McCoy. Deep to right field for out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Scoreless. Siena Heights with 1 hit, though.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today. Welcome back. Pitching for Siena Heights, number 17, Reed Olmstead. Leading it off is St. Francis, Mikhail McCowan. Olmstead, a 3.15 ERA, has 1 complete game under his belt. He's got a team-high 20 innings pitched. He's given up 8 runs, 7 earned, 16 hits, 4 walks, 13 strikeouts, second best on the team. Opposing batters hitting .211 against Reed. Reed Olmstead, he's a big righty, 5'11", 205 from Riga, Michigan, Summerfield High School. So it's Mikhail McCown at the dish. Just had that last put out for the Cougars. In game number 1 today, he was 0 for 3, was hit by a pitch.
Come on, Mick.
Second pitch on the 0-1. He'll be caught in foul territory for out number 1. By the first baseman, Brendan Green. Brings the plate Tyler Prince. Prince just a sophomore. Was 1 for 2 with an RBI. Game number 1. Down in this count, 0-2 is Prince to Olmstead. Olmstead, once again, is a senior hurler for the Saints. Ball's drilled into center. Nolf is on it for out number 2. Tyler Prince been hitting the ball hard. It's going to bring up Jack Harris.
Stop talking back.
Jack Harris playing left field once again in game number 2.
Am I wrong?
Checks that first one for ball one. Excuse me, strike one.
Come on, Jackie.
Hard to see here, folks, at the World Baseball Academy. No press box. I'm set up in the dugout. Just left of the screen there. 0-2 is your count. Harris will check that one outside for ball one. Jack was 1 for 3 with an RBI in game number 1.
Come on, Jackie.
On deck is Noah Fryman,
There you go,
the
Jack.
DH. 2-2 the count.
Here you go, Jackie.
I feel like it's no longer the move to right. We may just so our 5 depth.
There you go, Jack.
So Harris rips the first single of the game for St. Francis. In the left field, so 2 outs. Got a runner aboard for Noah Fryman. Noah in game number 1 today was 2 for 3 with a run scored and a strikeout. On deck will be Brady Harris.
Here you go, Noah.
So that will do it. The third out. We'll head to the top of the second, scoreless.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it
They
down.
attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl. Shot hits the post. And the center feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
In the top of the second for Siena Heights, it'll be Logan Nolf, Riley Overacre, and David Pietriga. Overacre hit his first home run of the season back in game number 1. A 3-1 win for St. Francis. To right field, about 340 feet. The home run. Just the second player to hit a home run on his team. Nolf has 2 on the season. 10 RBI. Siena Heights just 13 games under their belt. St. Francis 21 games. Make that 22 games under the Cougars' belt.
All right, that's it. I'm taking you ready.
Takes that first pitch for a strike. Nolf was hit by a pitch and had a single. He was 1 for 2 in game number 1. Right in front of us, Caden Sullivan makes the grab. Route number 1. Solly was literally about 4 feet away from me. Did a good job dealing with the fence. That'll bring up Riley Overacre, the right fielder.
Here we go, Charlie.
First pitch from Betts. His first pitch strikes are outstanding. Overacre was 1 for 3 with that home run. Also struck out. Counts evened up at 1 apiece.
You're a tough guy. You're a tough guy.
So that's Jacob Nagy, the catcher.
You're tough.
Junior catcher for the Cougars, who was the senior Vollmer in game 1. Nagy entering today with a .270 batting average, 10 hits and 7 RBI on the season. 1-2 your count with 1 out. Siena Heights already has an arm up in the bullpen. In that game number 1, 5 pitchers for Siena Heights, 3 for St. Francis. It was Dane Hoffman getting the win. The senior, Dane. Count's going to remain at 2-2. Betts, once again, just a junior for Coach Dustin Butcher and the Cougs. That ball hit right back at Betts. Harris over to Prince. Route number 2. It's going to bring up David Petriga, third baseman. Entering this series, Petriga with a .294 batting average, 5 hits and 17 ABs with a double, 5 RBI, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and he's a perfect 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts. Takes that first pitch for a strike. For a team that only has 7 stolen base attempts and 3 stolen bases on the season, Petriga's got 2 of them. Slow roller over to Bova. Route number 3. 3 up, 3 down for Betts. There in the top of the second. We head to the bottom, scoreless, from the Ash Center.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code SummitCity for 15% off today. Here in the bottom of the second, we got a new pitcher. It's Wyatt West, a 3.86 ERA, 4.2 innings pitched on the season, giving up 4 runs, 2 earned, 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Opposing hitters are batting .294. Against the tall Wyatt West, he goes 6'7", 180 from Taylor, Michigan. Taylor Truman High School. Starting pitcher for Siena Heights, Reed Olmstead. Just 1 inning pitched. Gave up the 1 hit. So I think Siena Heights trying to get every one of their pitchers into this series. Not sure if they're just saving arms for what lies ahead. On Saturday, they'll host Michigan Dearborn. On Sunday, they'll be at Rochester in Michigan. And then on Tuesday, they'll be at Goshen. A couple series coming up for them. Your batter, it's Brady Harris. Brady 1 for 3 with the strikeout in game number 1. His one hit was a double that he ripped into left field. That advanced Jack Harris to third base. Another one ripped into left field. Leadoff single for Brady Harris. Good piece of hitting for Harris, who entered today with a 191 batting average. That batting average is trending up, folks. That'll bring up the catcher, Jacob Nagy. Nagy did not play in game number 1. Vollmer did. First pitch. Slow roller. Foul. Last time out for Nagy against Madonna, he was 1 for 3 with 2 walks and a strikeout. Ball in the dirt. We're evened up at ones. New third baseman, Olson, not playing here in game number 2. West, 6'7". Nagy drills that ball into left center field, and it's going to roll all the way to the fence. The left fielder slips and falls. Brady Harris going to come home to score on the RBI double by Jacob Nagy.
Hit the chopper!
Courtesy runners going to be Jordan Siddons. Brady Harris scoring all the way from first, and it wasn't even close. Brings up Caden Sullivan. Sully shut down Siena Heights there in that last inning. On the bump, 1, 2, 3. Matter of fact, the final out was Harold Wolf flipping it to Sullivan at first as the Cougs picked up win number 8 on the season.
Oh, sit-ins.
Remember, folks, I'm tweeting out all the highlights at SF Cougars, like that smash RBI double by Jacob Nagy. It also goes on the USF baseball Facebook page. And not the University of Southern Florida. They don't do much with their Facebook page. The Cougs got video all over the place. Highlights galore. 2-0 now to Caden Sullivan. West, the big tall righty, finds the zone, 2-1.
Let's go, Caden. Good job, kid.
Three won the count. Once again, Jordan Siddons, the courtesy runner for Jacob Nagy at second. 3-1 now to Sully. Hard hit at the shortstop, Torres. And that's a bad throw. That's an E6. So So Solly reaches safely. That'll advance Siddons the third for Tony Bova. 0 outs here for St. Francis in the bottom of the second. Bova 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored in game number 1. His first run was a wild one. Bova reached first on a single, took second on a wild pitch, took third on a pass ball, and took home on a pass ball. He was busy. Torres going to call for it right at the bump for out number 1. Still runners at first and third for Justice Tussing, your starting center fielder. Tussing entering today with a .233 batting average, 7 hits, 4 runs scored, and 30 ABs, 3 RBI, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and he's 2 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Entering today's doubleheader. First pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 1.
Hey, pick me up, Tuss. I'll be all right.
Tussing once again just 1 out, working against Wyatt. Runner is off, and Sullivan's going to steal second. We got a conference call by Coach John Kalansky. We'll be right back.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Cross. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipscher. Shot scores.
The rush comes.
So it's a 1-1 count to Justice Tussing. Here in the bottom of the second, we got runners at first and second. Or excuse me, second and third, with just 1 out. Wyatt West, the righty. Tussing rips it right to the third baseman. He'll get the sure out for number 2. That was David Patriga. Patriga, a freshman at 6'4", 220. They got some good-looking freshmen here for Siena Heights. Building for the future, as last year they finished in 9th place in the WAC. It's going to bring up Mikael McCown. Cougars finishing in 8th place in the Crossroads League last year with an upset victory over Wesleyan in the first round of the Crossroads League tournament. It was a battle for that 8th spot. Went all the way down to the final day of games. West in the dirt.
Hey, Siddons, read a pass ball.
Good work by the catcher, Delver Freitas.
Come on, 6.
Not sure I've ever seen the name Delver before for a first name. Another one down low for McCowan. McCowan playing a good right field there in game number 1. There's a lot of action going his way.
Come on, Mick, let's go, babe.
With Hoffman pitching 5 innings for the Cougs.
Come on, Mikhail, give me one, baby.
Come on, Mick. Come on, Mick.
There was a fly ball out to right. McCowan had gotten turned around, but was able to snag it at the last second.
Come on, Mick, let's go, babe.
Not easy to play outfield this time of year with that sod just starting to melt away and get all soggy.
All right, come on, work, baby.
McHale's going to take the strike for a full count here with 2 outs. Runners in scoring position. McHale was the first Cougar to hit a home run this year, back in February. Down in the dirt. Bases once again loaded for Tyler Prince.
That's a quality at bat, man.
Do ya?
Quality at bat.
Come on, Mick, let's go. Nick, come on, good team.
Tyler Prince, who was 1 for 2 with an RBI and a walk in game number 1, flew out to center field in his first AB. Prince on the season does not have a 3-hit game yet. He does have the best on-base percentage at .513 for the Cougs. He's got a great eye at the plate. Prince in this series has been ripping the ball. That fly out to center went all the way to the warning track. He's been killing the ball lately. That ball's ripped into right. That's got too much on it for number 15. Coming home to score, Siddons and Sullivan. McHale McCowan. 3 RBI double by Tyler Prince. Racking up the stats. McHale McCowan, Jordan Siddons, and Caden Sullivan coming home to score. Cougs with 4 runs here in the bottom of the second. That'll bring to the plate Jack Harris. Prince, who's 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts on the season, probably not going to try to take third here with 2 outs. I told you, Prince has been ripping the cover off the ball. That one there just had too much velocity for number 15, the right fielder, Riley Overraker. With this outfield, you're not going to get a good jump. It's just too soft. You'll be spinning wheels before you can get going. 1-1 your count with 2 outs.
Come on, Jack, let's go, babe.
Harris 1 for 3 with an RBI in that game number 1. Jack nearly backhanded.
Don't get hit by that, baby.
To me, that's a single. We'll see what the official call is going to be. Jackie smoked that ball down the line. Was nearly backhanded there.
Come on, 3-3, let's go, Fry.
Good job.
Brings the plate Noah Frymuth, the 9th batter of the inning. Wyatt West is trying to get out of this one unscathed anymore.
Do it now, do it good.
That ball ripped into center field. Prince comes home to score. Jack Harris at third on the RBI single by Noah Frymuth. Cougs up 5-0. Cougars 5 runs on 6 hits. 1 hit, 1 error for SHU. Your batter is Brady Harris. This is his second AB in the inning. 1-1 your count to Harris. 2 outs. Lots of speed on the base pass for the Cougs. Speed at the plate as well. And they're going to call a balk. That's going to advance both runners. Jack Harris comes home to score on the balk. Noah Frymuth had West all kinds of confused there on the bump. One, 2 now to Brady Harris. I've seen a lot of balks so far this year, probably about 4. We've covered a lot of games here at the Ash Center. 11 games played here at home for St. Francis. 2 years ago, we only hosted 2 games. I should say 2 series, so 4 games. 2-2 now to Harris. But this year, this is the default destination for anybody probably north of Upland. Fly ball into center. Long trek to make the grab there by Nolf, but he does, and we'll head to the top of the third. 6-0 St. Francis.
You probably weren't peeking, were you? Stop not to have any chance alive. Oh, no,
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Charlie Betts on the bump. Weston Cook to lead it off. He's the number 8 batter for the Halos. Charlie Betts, 2 innings pitched, has only given up 1 hit. 0 walks, 0 strikeouts. Cook was 1 for 3 in game number 1. Folks, remember to get on the St. Francis Twitter SF Cougars so you can see all the highlights from all the baseball, softball games this spring, winter, spring. Check swing, strike 1.
Let's go!
Come back, 4-9!
2-0 now your count.
I win myself to the 216, baby.
2-1 now. Not sure if we'll see Wyatt West again. Siena Heights throwing out a bunch of pitchers in this series. That ball is drilled right at Tussing for out number one.
I agree.
One out for Delver Freitas. Delver did not have an at-bat in game number one. He's 1 for 11 on the season with a 91 batting average. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and he's 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts. So between Delver and the third baseman, Betrega, they have all of the stolen bases for Siena Heights. Chopper flipped over to Betts for out number 2. That's Tyler Prince with the assist. Brings up Snyder Torres, shortstop. Torres is a junior at 6 foot 175. He's from Venezuela. USF, 6 runs on 6 hits. Torres flew out to the second baseman, Bova, in his first at-bat. 1-1, you're counting out to Snyder Torres. Torres drills that one down the right field line. McCowan cuts it off. That will be the second hit of the game for Siena Heights. Great job by McCowan out in right field, catching up to that ball. That was ripped by Torres. Torres now in green have the hits for Siena Heights. It's going to bring the plate Brendan Baker with 2 outs. Remember, Torres does have Torres does not have a stolen base attempt on the season. Does not. Our next broadcast will be this Saturday. I'll be at Westendorf Field. Lady Cougars taking on Indiana Wesleyan. Baseball will be taking on Wesleyan in the doubleheader here at the World Baseball Academy Ash Center. Tussing fields it on the hop. Back-to-back singles puts Baker at first and Torres at second. It's going to bring the plate Brendan Green, who had a single back in the first. Siena Heights now with 3 hits. Green, once again, a senior from Ohio. 0-1 the count. Green entering today with a .452 batting average. Was 1 for 3 in game number 1 and leads this game off with a single. He is dialed in at the plate. You can just see it. 0-2's the count.
Learn from it.
Way ahead, Chuckles.
Needs to get a hit here.
Hey, yeah, Jackie, more forward.
2 outs. Try to get a run as Siena Heights is down by 6.
Time is out. That's a 30-second timeout.
Charlie.
We're back live. From the World Baseball Academy.
Ooh.
Gas me up. Let's go.
The fastball inside.
We got a heater out there.
How many for now? We say no, straight up, man. One pitch away, one pitch away.
That was off the handle. Be picked up by Harris. And that is out. Bang, bang play. Nice play by Brady Harris as we head to the bottom of the 3rd.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it
They
down.
attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Cross. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipster. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
New pitchers, number 44, Zac Bloom, a freshman at 6'1", 170. Bloom entering today with a 6.75 ERA. In 1.1 innings pitched, he's given up 1 run on 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, 0 walks. Opposing batters hitting .333 against him.
Uh-oh, we lost it. We lost them.
Where's the scoreboard? Okay. Lost scoreboard.
Bag on. Got hold your mouth.
Come on, Nags!
Come on, Nagy.
It's going to be Jacob Nagy as 10 Cougars saw the plate in the bottom of the 2nd. Nagy upstairs, that nearly clips him for ball 1. Jacob in his first AB had a RBI double. Scored Brady Harris.
Nickelback.
That boy next. Come on, next.
Sorry, Bill. It's okay. I just got to knock him over.
Once again, Zac Bloom, the freshman. The 3rd pitcher of the game here for Siena Heights. 3-1 now to Jacob Nagy, starting catcher. He's only a junior. Big junior at 6'2", 230 pounds from Brunswick, Ohio. Full count. 2 balls. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nagy. Nagy waiting on the off-speed pitch. That'll be picked up by the freshman third baseman, David Patriga, for out number 1. Bring up Caden Sullivan. Caden reached safely on an E6, stole a base, and scored a run back in the second. He did not record an AB in game number 1. He did come in and pitch the last inning, a 1-2-3 inning for Solly and the Cougs, picking up the 3-1 win. 1-0 the count. Solly just a sophomore. Rips that one. That'll be backhanded by Torres. Comes up firing, not in time. 7th hit of the game for St. Francis. Brings up Tony Bova. Charlie Betts, after 3 innings, has 40 pitches under his belt with 3 hits, given up. Nice bunt. Goes foul. Bova was fantastic to start the year with the bunts. Trying to work himself back into that form. We saw Matt Vollmer place the perfect bunt in game number 1 down the first base line where he was safe.
Here we go, Bo. Come on, baby.
Good block in the dirt. Again, the catcher is Freitas Delver, number 37. One and one, the count to Tony Bova with 1 out.
Come on, Bova. Here we go, Bo. Come now. Here we go, 13. We're seeing that, baby.
Fouled out of play. Cougar football going to start spring ball next week. Got their football banquet on Sunday. Spring break, or the spring game, will be, I believe it's 3 weeks from Saturday. The 22nd Black and Blue spring game. Bova right over to Torres. Only throw is to first. Bova nearly beat that one out. That'll advance Sullivan to second. 2 gone for Justice Tussin. Tustin grounded out to third baseman Patriga back in the second. If you guys want to watch the best football end of the year, college football end of the year video, I'll be posting it Sunday after the banquet. I thought last year's was probably the best in the country. This year's end of the year video is going to be fantastic. Although it is cut from an hour to 30 minutes. Sullivan at second. Tussin gets a hold of it into left field for out number 3. Head to the top of the 4th, 6-0 Cougs.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Welcome back here in the top of the fourth. Charlie Betts, he's back for more. He's only given up 3 hits, 0 runs in this game. The Cougars without an error in game number 1, and so far here in game number 2 as well.
Everything should be, everything should be.
Certainly don't want to jinx anything, but we had 7 errors on Tuesday, game number 2. So it's looking good out here for Charlie Betts, Jacob Nagy, and the Cougs as Connor McCoy's at the dish. Flew out to right field in his first AB. Takes that first pitch low for ball 1. Betts the righty. The high knee kick in the swing and a miss. 1-1 your count. Same stuff going on in the Crossroads League. We got Huntington with a 5-1 conference record. Taylor at 4-2. 2 teams among the top of the Crossroads League. Probably the most surprising is Indiana Wesleyan. They're 7-18 overall, just 1-2 in conference play. Noah Frymuth, unassisted for out number 1. Brings up Logan Nolf. Flew out to Sullivan. That was right here in front of the dugout in his first at-bat. Nolf, the 6'5" center fielder. He's got 2 home runs on the season.
Just keep rolling. They don't want anything to do with it.
How about the Cougar starters today? Dane Hoffman and Charlie Betts, senior and a junior. That'll miss inside. 1-1 your count.
Come on, Charlie.
I got it.
Good job, pitchers.
That boy Chuck, you got right here. Good guy.
1-2 now to Nolf.
How about 4-9 we say now, Chuck? Atta boy!
Nolf battling at the dish. Betts looking for his first strikeout. I think Siena Heights trying to get all their pitchers in this series. As Nolf rips that one right down the left field line. That should be extra bases. It is not. He's going to stay at first. Great job by Jack Harris tracking that ball down in the left field corner. A lot of athleticism here with the Cougars. They've had a lot of opportunities this season, but sitting with a 8-14 overall record currently. Big swing and a miss for Riley Overacre. Overacre grounded out to Harris in his first at-bat. Ball inside by Betts. 1-1 your count. It's 1 out.
Come on, man. Hey, Charlie. Hey, boy. We're on your side,
That ball's drilled into right. That is gone. No doubt about it, Riley Overacre with his second home run on the day. This one a 2-run, as it'll score Logan Nolf as well. There was just no doubt about that one right there. Siena Heights now with 5 hits. Brings up David Petriga. Petriga grounded out to Bova, the second baseman in his first at-bat. Takes that first pitch for ball 1.
Come on, Charlie. Let's go, man. Come on, Charlie. Let's go.
That boy bets up it.
See that back, see the bell.
I looked at the score, like, why is it 2 points?
Hey. Charles.
Low and outside to Petriga. Only a freshman, the 6'4" third baseman. Betts trying to get him looking low. We're evened up at 2 apiece. There's 1 out here. Ball hit sharply at Bova. Route number 2. Petriga, both at bats. He's grounded out to second. That'll bring up Weston Cook.
We got two. That boy bets.
Charlie, good job. Let's go, Charlie.
Cook flew out to center field. Back in the third, he was 1 for 3 at the plate. Game number 1. First pitch is a swing and a miss. Once again, for Siena Heights, this is their first game since March the 13th. That was a doubleheader against us at their place.
Here we go. He's it.
Hey, good next.
Since that doubleheader, St. Francis has played, well, I guess just 3 games. Betts catches the outside corner there. 1-2, now 2 outs. Overacre, that second home run was a blast.
Oh, gas me up.
Boom. And it's out. 1-2. That ball popped into very shallow right. McHale's going to call for it and make the grab. Route number 3. Head to the bottom of the 4th. 6-2, Cougs. Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team.
I mean, I always had my family behind me, I always had my team behind me, but to have staff that wanted the best for me and to get me feeling better the quickest was really reassuring.
Parkview Sports Medicine.
New pitcher for Siena Heights, number 50, Jacob Simmers. Sophomore at 6 foot 195 from New Boston, Michigan, Huron High School. Simmers a 9.0 ERA in 6 innings pitched. He's given up 6 runs, all earned, 11 hits, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. And opposing hitters are batting .423 against Simmers. Lead it off will be Mikhail McCown. 0 for 1 in this game, walked and scored a run back in the second. He'll take that first pitch inside for ball 1.
Here we go, Nick.
Siena Heights, 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. St. Francis, 6 runs on 7 hits, 0 errors. We're evened up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Second baseman.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Weston Cook going to take that one for Siena Heights for out number 1.
Like I said, I'm our biggest defender.
Brings up number 23, Tyler Prince.
I wouldn't go that far. Hey, we're going to make a jar, bro.
Prince will take that first one inside for ball 1. How about that 3 RBI double by Tyler Prince back in the second? That was an inning where all 10 Cougars saw the plate. Check it out real quick. Prince. And boom, to right center field. He loves going oppo. 1-1 your count. They want to pitch Prince outside. He's been doing that all season long. In this series, he's just been ripping the ball deep. Warning track. That's going to be right down the third base line, beyond the outstretched reach of Patriga. Another double. Tyler Prince. 8th hit of the game for St. Francis.
Got one. Hey, time. 5. Remember that.
Hell yeah.
There.
We got a pinch runner coming in. It's number 43. Vincent Manson, the sophomore,
It's going to get you on the inside.
running for Prince. Manson from Bloomington, Indiana, Brown County High School. Beautiful area. Jack Harris, your batter. 1-0 is your count. Harris 2 for 2 with a run scored in this game.
I'm Jackie.
First pitch fouled away. Counts evened up at 1 apiece. The 1-1 from Jacob Simmers. Boy, Tyler Prince has seen so many different pitchers today and has hit them all. Prince now 2 for 3 in this game. He was 1 for 2 with a walk and an RBI in game number 1. Harris right to the second baseman. So Cook with another putout. We got 2 outs. Noah Frymuth.
Man, got to score on a single. I'm fine.
Simmers' first pitch. He's got a little hitch there in his throw. Kind of cocks the arm right before he lets the pitch loose. Frymuth down the count 0-1. Noah 1 for 2 with an RBI. Oh, Frymuth rips it. Right center field and tracked down at the warning track. Great catch there by number 15, Riley Overacre, as he hits the outfield wall. Great concentration. Top of the 5th, 6-2, St. Francis.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And look at his cross. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipster. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Top of the 5th, 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for Siena Heights. 6 runs on 8 hits, 0 errors for St. Francis. It's Riley Overacker. He's responsible for all the runs on the day. That's Belver, leadoff single into right field. Great job there by Delver Freitas, the catcher. Brings to the plate the leadoff batter, Snyder Torres.
Hey, one pitch here, Charlie. We say 4-9. Get you.
Torres is 1 for 2, had a single back in the third. Popped out to Bova, the second baseman, back in the first. First pitch from Betts. This low and outside, ball one. It's Coach Dustin Butcher, along with Jacob Nagy. So once again, Huntington 5-1 in conference, Taylor at 4-2, MVNU at 2-1. Let's take a look at Huntington's schedule. The Foresters have done, they've won 3 in a row. They took all 3 games from Spring Arbor, and they beat Taylor 2 out of 3. Not a bad start to Crossroads League play. They did lose a series against IU Southeast. Lost 1 game to Cumberlands, 2 games to Cumberlands. 3 actually. They were 1-3 against Cumberlands, 0-2 against IU Southeast. And 2-1 against Taylor. Huntington looking strong. Donovan Clark, one of their top players. He can hit for average and run. He's a football player at IU. People know him around the country because he got hurt while he was playing football at IU, and the coach kept trying to egg him on to play. Guess he didn't know how hurt Clark was. And it was like a nationwide story. I think that was Kevin Wilson, the coach at IU. He's now at Ohio State. They got rid of him. The coach. And Donovan, with his injury, could no longer play football. So I think ESPN interviewed him. Then he went to IPFW to play ball and ended up at Huntington, where he's doing well. It's Forrester. Bova, Harris, lead runners out. On the 4-3, fielder's choice. They'll bring up Brendan Baker. Baker 1 for 2, popped out to center field in the first, singled in the third. First pitch from Betts, ball 1. Look good from the dugout. Now it's Torres on first. Torres is off. Chopper, Bova, unassisted, double play. We head to the bottom of the 5th, 6-2, Cougs.
Oh, gosh, that was gross!
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Here in the bottom of the fifth, we have a new pitcher. It's Parker Schwartz. He's a freshman, 6 foot 190 from Toledo, Ohio, Toledo Central Catholic. Schwartz with 1.1 innings pitched under his belt. He's given up 0 runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Batters are hitting .400 against him. Leading off will be Brady Harris. 1 for 3 in game number 1. 1 for 2 with the run scored in game number 2. Swings on that first pitch and it's drilled right at the left fielder for out number 1. That's Brendan Baker. That'll bring up Jacob Nagy. Nagy had a RBI double and a run scored in the second. Grounded out to the third baseman in the third. Check that pitch inside for ball 1. That ball's drilled. Right center field. Overacre. Almost looked like he snow coned that ball. 2 outs. Brings up Caden Sullivan. Solly 1 for 2. Had a single back in the third. Reached safely on an E6 back in the second. Stole a base and scored a run for Caden Sullivan. First pitch ripped right towards the Cougar dugout. 0-1 the count to Sullivan. Just a bit outside for Schwartz. Sully entering today with a .211 batting average. That ball drilled right into left. Route number 3. We'll head to the top of the 6th. 6-2 Cougs.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Cross. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipster. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Starting pitcher Charlie Betts, 5 innings pitched, 70 pitches under his belt, 6 hits, giving up 2 runs, both earned in a home run. That was Overacre. 2-run jack to right. Took that ball about 2.2 seconds to get over the fence. Leading off here is going to be Brendan Green. 1 for 2, had a single in the first. Green is hitting this ball hard. Been hitting the cover off the ball. Entering today with a .452 batting average, 15th best in the country. Still, though, Siena Heights just 12 games under their belt, entering today's doubleheader. You can look at that a couple different ways. Nonetheless, Green is doing it, and he's proved in this series he's vicious at the plate. Nice stop by Betts for out number one. Everything, though, being hit hard by Mr. Brendan Green. Up now, Connor McCoy.
That would play ideal. Yeah, you don't have to tell me that, Bush. I know. Hey, one of you.
He's 0 for 2 in this game. McCoy, the DH. He's a senior, 6'1", 215 from Highland, California, Citrus Valley High School. That ball's drilled into left center. Harris. That ball is gone. Another round tripper. Third run of the game for Siena Heights. That time it was the DH, Connor McCoy. That'll bring the plate Logan Nolf. 1 for 2 in this game with a single and a run scored back in the fourth.
There. Pitch. Come on, Charlie. Charlie, baby.
Two balls, one strike. Three one's your count. To Knopf. Tall center fielder. Listed at 6'5". Got a full count. That ball dug, hit to shallow right field. Mikhail McCowan, out number 2. 2 outs, that'll bring up Riley Overecker. Last at bat, that big home run, 1 for 2. Grounded out to the shortstop in the second inning. One 0 your count. Siena Heights with 7 hits now in this game with 1 error. Pitch upstairs, 2-0.
He's having a good day. He's seeing beach ball today. No, he is.
3-0 to the lefty. Overraker playing a good right field as well today. He's a senior at 5'10".
Hey, you pick him up. We got to pick him up.
It looks like that might be it for Charlie Betts. We got a new pitcher coming in. It'll be Tanner Gaff after this short break.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout, and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no like recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Game on here with Tanner Gaff on the bump. 4.5 ERA in 2 innings pitched. He's given up 2 runs, just 1 earned, 2 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Opposing batters hitting .250 against Gaff. David Patriga, the third baseman, 0 for 2 in this game. 2 ground outs to Bova. 0-1 now. At first base, it's Overaker. Betts 5-2 innings pitched. 5 2/3 inning pitch, I should say. 7 hits given up, 3 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 2 home runs. Two one now. That ball is smacked. Where'd it go? Into right field for out number 3. Head to the bottom of the 6th, 6-3. Cougars.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience. New pitcher for Siena Heights,
Number 23, Andrew Worth. I don't even have enough room in my scorebook anymore for all these pitchers. This is the 6th pitcher of the day for Siena Heights. As a team, their pitchers have 82 pitches under their belt, giving up 8 hits, 6 runs, just 1 earned, and 1 walk. Not a bad job by these pitchers at all. Only 1 earned run. Tony Bovo will take that first pitch for a strike. Bova 0 for 2 in this game, was 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored in game number 1.
It's coming back, I swear.
Worth wears number 23. He's a sophomore, 5'7", 180 from Dearborn, Michigan, Cabrini High School. Do not have any stats for Worth. This might be his first game pitching. Bova right down the line. Leadoff single for Tony Bova will bring up Justice Tussing. Leadoff double, I should say, by Tony Bova. Tussing, starting center fielder, 0 for 2 in this game. Good block. Ball in the dirt. Ball down low, check swing. And that'll be strike 1. 1-1's your count. Tony Bova's 2 runs scored, his most on the season since March the 12th against Cincinnati Christian when he scored 3 runs. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Justice Tussing. Tussing drills that to center right at Nolf. Route number 1, Bova will take third. No, he will not. Great throw. Brings up Mikhail McCowan. 0 for 2 in this game with a walk and a run scored.
Hey, let's go, Mickey. Hey, let's go, Mickey.
Bova still at second.
Raleigh's best. Come on, Nick. Come on, Miguel.
Mikhail swings at the first pitch for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for Tyler Prince. Siena Heights coach just wanted to see what he's got from his pitching staff. He's given them all a chance here in this series. Prince has been the player of this series. He's 2 for 3 in this game with 2 doubles, 3 RBI, and a run scored. Mound visit with 2 outs. Let's go back to the Crossroads League. Talk about how well Huntington's doing. Taylor University. They have not lost a series except for that Huntington series all year. They beat Indiana Tech 2-1. Took 2 out of 3 against Tech. 3 out of 4 against IU South Bend. Won all 4 against Cornerstone. Beat Ave Maria twice. Beat Florida National twice, but lost to St. Thomas out of Florida. Taylor baseball is legit. Their head coach, Gold, picked up his 500th win, I believe. Taylor ranks number 2 in the country in earned run average and opponent batting average. Their pitching staff is 3 runs better than anybody else in the Crossroads League. 1-1 your count. Team ERAs, Taylor, actually they've fallen a little bit. 2.04 ERA. Mount Vernon Naz, second in the Crossroads League, 4.81. St. Francis ranks number 8 with a 5.68 team ERA. Another one in the dirt. 2-1. St. Francis tied with Taylor for 5th place in the conference with a 276 team batting average. Prince. Good play there. Once again by the freshman, Patriga, as we head to the top of the 7th. 6-3 Cougs. Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team.
I mean, I always had my family behind me, I always had my team behind me, but to have staff that wanted the best for me and to get me feeling better the quickest was really reassuring.
Parkview Sports Medicine.
Nobody scored.
Right, but then what happened? That's newsworthy.
Fly ball, ground out, and then a walk. That loaded the bases. And the 3 RBI double. And then the single here. And Harris scored on the ball.
There's 3 unearned runs because of the air.
Chopper over to Sullivan. Gets him for out number 1. That was Weston Cook. At the dish, that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Delver Freitas. Nice arm there by Sullivan.
He did. We know it. He does it.
First pitch, a swing and a miss. 0-1. Delver had a single in his last AB. He's 1 for 2 in this game. Nick Olson now up in the bullpen for Siena Heights, starting third baseman in game 1.
Don't overthrow, baby. Stay within yourself.
2 balls, 1 strike. Tanner Gaff with 1/3 of an inning under his belt. Excuse me, 2/3 of an inning. Now a full inning after the fly ball. That'll bring up the leadoff batter, Snyder Torres.
Let's go, Gav. Let's finish it. Come on, Gav. Here we go, baby.
First pitch in there for a strike from Gaff. Torres 1 for 3 in this game. That ball's drilled right at Tussing for out number 3. So that will do it, folks. The Cougars take game number 2, 6-3, and win this series 2-0 over Siena Heights. Thanks so much for joining us. Until next time, I'm Jeff Mahoney. Have a great rest of the week.